You got it.
Hello and welcome to Make Some Noise. We got a huge talent here known as the band Wicked. We got with us bassist Danny Martin and guitarist Scott Ventura. How are you guys doing today?
What's up, man? Good to be here. We're having a great time.
Hanging by
Yeah,
the pool, just enjoying life.
oh wow, where are you guys coming from?
We're in Long Island, New York right now.
Well, it doesn't look like you're in New York, but it is summer, so that's I hear there's a bit of a heat wave going on there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's rare over here. It's usually just snow.
Yeah. So, in fact, the last time we talked to you guys, this was the album you guys were promoting, Sunburn. It seems like, summer is the time for Wicked to come out with great new music. Is that something that just kind of happens that way, or you like going out in the summer?
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
guys.
It's up, brother. Yeah,
All right, all right.
like we were just joking about, it's always so dark and cold in New York, where we're from. So, we really have that like dreamer's affinity for the summer, and it's like, our nostalgic getaway. Like we've made kind of like some habitual routines out of it, right, Scott?
Yeah, usually that's like our excuse for writing an album. Like we have to go on a few vacations first, and then
Right.
Yeah.
then we can write.
And it seems like once again there's this great camaraderie among the band. I mean, you guys seem to have a great chemistry, get along, and that's got to make it so much more fun to be in a band where everybody's getting along.
It's a blast, man. I mean, we have so many adventures, right, Chad?
Yeah, that's right.
Who's your friend there? Your friends.
Even the dogs come on the adventures.
We got 4 dogs out with us on the trip.
Yeah. The new album is called Go Rebel, and it comes out, I believe, August 21st. Were any songs on the new album left over from the previous album?
Actually, not. I think this time was kind of cool for us because it was the first time that we really started just writing and curating exactly for, you know, the album that was going to be Go Rebel and the idea that we had. Like we weren't cherry picking from other.
No, I mean quite the opposite. This was supposed to be an 11-song album.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very cherry picked to kind of be like part of a singular thing for what we wanted the album to look like, sound like. Exploring different sounds and textures and all that kind of stuff too. So this is all brand new, man. You guys are in for a treat.
I love that, and it's got that same kind of wicked, the wicked, I guess, sound, the spirit. I mean, I've only heard the one song "Go Rebel," but it's just kind of, I guess, a progression where you guys left off with the last album. Would you say there's as much of a concept to the album, or is it just a set of great rock songs?
I think not so much a concept, but kind of an idea of a theory that we have. And that is like this togetherness in a moment and more focus on a community or a scene than like that, cliche narcissistic rock star kind of point of view. So this one's really a rally album for all of our, comrades out there in the rock and roll world.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of my favorite bands growing up was Kiss, and what I loved about Kiss was you had more than one guy sang in the band. They each had identifiable characters. There's a glam aspect to what they did. Everything was over the top, and when you talk about Wicked, the music videos, the live performances, everything is over the top. I mean, I dare say Wicked is probably the first band to come along in many, many years. It's got that rock star appeal, if you know what I mean. I'd say you guys, your sound wise, your look is everything from Queen, Kiss, Abba, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, all rolled into one.
That's the idea with us. We're, non-denominational to any one particular band or genre, really. But to your point, when we take all those different influences and put them in the blender, they come out with like the perfect Wicked, essence. And I think the more we've been exploring with different influences, the more exciting it's been to see the byproduct for sure.
Yes.
Like Hellraiser, I like that song because it's a little different. It's not as catchy and pop candy but it's a little more of a harder edge song. And I see you guys on the new album kind of exploring, like you said, different territories.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we recognized when we started playing Hellraiser a lot after the single release that fans would go crazy at live shows because, to your point, it brings a whole different tone and vibe, like with that very moody but heavy kind of feel. And I remember that it was very much like that too a while ago when we put Sinner out, right? So we try to keep a good balance on the album, and you're really going to see that on Go Rebel. Yeah, you'll have your fun, upbeat songs, but there's some grinders that are,
Yeah,
heavy hitting.
there's an unintentional formula that we have to kind of roll with
Yeah.
on an album because we know you got to have your heavy song, you got to have your
Pop hit.
fun
Yeah.
songs, the songs you can play in the summertime and all that. It's important to have that mix every time.
And it represents us, I think, a lot too, because that's how we like to consume our music. We're not very narrow minded in terms of our tastes, and we always like to mix it up. So we like to think of it as we're kind of making an album that we would love as music fans,
Always,
right?
yeah, it's the most
Yeah,
important thing.
that's what I heard. Like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley always say that we have to make the music, the songs we create. Like, we gotta like them first before we worry about if everybody else likes them.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge.
And,
That's the only way it's real. Yeah.
and another song that I just love that's got that typical kind of summer feel to what you guys do is Sunflower. I was watching the music video for that. I mean, that is just some great stuff in the video. It's just a great fun song overall.
Yeah, we had a blast too, doing the music video for it. So, I always say that when we do a music video, it's kind of like an opportunity for us to do a real life adventure,
Sure.
and that's what we make these videos. Is that one we went to L.A. and we found this cool hotel. What was it called?
Hotel Ziggy.
Yeah, and it was just a blast, right? So we just caught it on camera. Really, it's less acting. But that sunflower video is going to be part one of a three-part series of videos that kind of tell a story. So look out for the next two.
Well, I can't wait for that. Now, I'm sure when you guys are just walking down the street together, like in Hollywood or wherever you are, you must get like those guys got to be in a band, and yet,
Yeah.
yeah, Wicked started to become big, more known, but you're at a point too where like you're not recognizable. That's got to be kind of fun too. Getting the looks like you guys must get.
Oh yeah, everybody knows this is the four blonde rockers, and you'll either get are you guys from Sweden or LA or something like that? And we're like, well, we're New York boys, but
Yeah.
And anyone ever ask if, hey, are you guys in the band Nelson?
sometimes they do, yeah.
We got
Never
that
heard it
one.
before, yeah.
It's always fun to hear like how people boil things down so that they could understand it in a simplistic manner, and you kind of start to see like a pattern between like the people who say like Nelson or say Sweden or this or that, and it's kind of fun. It's you get to appreciate how people enjoy the whole product through their lens.
Yeah, and again, I think it's because what you guys do is so over the top. It's ultimate fun rock and roll party. I mean, that's what you
right.
want when you go see a band play
That's
out
it.
live. And their videos are just like what you'd see on MTV back in the day. And you guys definitely put a lot of professionalism into what you do.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you also have a great visualizer for the song "Go Rebel." Um, how would you describe that? I mean, would you say it's kind of the equivalent of a lyric video?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's really a look at us in the studio,
Yeah,
right?
that was recording Go Rebel.
So that was kind of a peek behind like the scenes of us like in Linden Oaks studio and just having a blast. I mean, you could see even
our
on the
producer
part,
Nacho gets a good cameo in it. He's
Yeah.
in it quite a bit, and that's,
even when we're doing our work, we're having a great time. So
Yeah, it shows like between the live show and within the studio that the energy's
Mhm.
there no matter what, Like,
Yeah.
And I love just
It
watching
never
that
really goes one
visualizer.
after-
Yeah, it shows that you guys do it the old school way, like where everybody is in the recording studio together. You're not recording your parts
not mailing
separately
it
in your own
in.
private studio,
Yeah, that's for sure.
And when you guys start like writing sessions, do they usually start with a riff? You usually start with lyrics?
It really goes back and forth. There's really no one way of for us to write a song. Danny could come home with something one day and be like, I got this idea, and then we start writing something over it, and then or vice versa, like Scott and I will write a riff or whatever, or Danny will have a bass part, Gunnar will have a drum part.
Yeah.
And but what we try to strive for is like we all sit down and we make it like a kind of like a fire pit type of situation where everybody's like, you know, together and writing together. You know, we're never doing anything separately. Like Danny said, we're not mailing it in. We're not, sending each other tracks. We're doing it all together,
And that makes a difference. I mean, you can tell. I mean, I grew up in that age where that's how albums used to be made, and to me, it just gives a sound a certain kick. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something to it for sure.
Yeah. And you guys feel like when you get in a room together that you inspire each other? Like for example, with Scott, what Scotty is doing on the guitar, or what Danny's doing on the bass.
I mean, 100%. That's how it always happens. Somebody starts it, and then it snowballs into a great song every time.
It's fun too when somebody's like what were that one song? I was like, Scott, you got to do a guitar lick like this, and I'm trying to like say it with my.
If you're familiar with our song "Sunburn,"
Oh yes.
the main guitar lead, those bends, wah, 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 and it was actually started. I was sitting over. Chad had a rhythm part, and I was saying, "What can I do to add some melody in this chorus?" And Danny does it with his mouth. What if you went wow, wow, wow? And I was like, all right. At first, I was annoyed. I'm like, he's trying to tell me how to play the guitar with his mouth, and I tried it. I did some unison bends there and made that part.
I mean, inspiration can come from anywhere, and
Even a bass player.
The bass player's mouth.
let's talk, Danny, about your bass playing. I was curious because it's not really obvious. I mean, I get some of those influences that I mentioned, but as far as bass players, who were your heroes growing up?
Oh man, I think you got to think about bands like that were like in the 70s and like the greats like Pete Way and UFO, or Dennis Dunaway and Alice Cooper. Those guys are my favorites. They had the swagger, they had cool styles to how they played, and they always just looked like 10,000 pounds of high voltage dynamite on stage. So it was definitely guys like that really inspired me to kind of like do what I do.
Of course, Philip Lynott.
Yeah. Well, yeah. From a writing standpoint, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy is just the ultimate for sure.
He's ultimate in the sense that he was like a triple threat as far as great singer, songwriter, and bass player. You do it all,
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that kind of what you aspire to be? Like a man that can do it all?
Yeah, it's like being a Swiss Army knife, and I always say I'm like the band dad, so you got to kind of juggle a whole bunch of different skills and just kind of keep everybody moving to the beat of the drum,
Yeah, and while you're the so-called front man of the band, I mean, when you're up on stage playing live, you must must be fighting for attention with everybody else in the band, doing what they do on stage.
We're always fighting together. Yeah, I mean, Scott's flipping his hair, Danny's doing the jumps and everything, and then I got to do my part of it where I'm like, guys, I'm in the front center, so
Chaos.
I step right in front of Gunner, so that's my way of being the front man.
Yeah. And so, what are your plans tour-wise? Like, have you guys got any dates that you've announced? Do you think you'll do headlining shows, or do you think you'll be opening like for a big main act?
We're actually going to be we got one more show in the U.S. on August 8th in New York City. That's going to be a really cool one at the Berlin Club, and then we're headed off over the pond to the U.K. and Ireland for a tour with the Kings of Thrash.
Wow.
So we're super excited for our first time to be going over England and Ireland and really just tearing it up in the aisles.
That's going to be a cool show, because Kings of Thrash, for anybody who doesn't know, kind of is this all-star band of players, and they play like a little bit of everything. And then you guys are going to get up and do what you do. And I think it's a perfect kind of, both bands I think will fit on the same bill,
Oh, it's awesome. I mean,
their money's worth.
We did the same thing when we went out with Raven and Vicious Rumors. It was like people like really enjoyed like the little bit of, dichotomy between the two styles, but everybody's bringing that high energy out there, like we always say. So
I was going to say, because a band like Vicious Rumors, they're a little heavier than what you guys do, but I could kind of seeing their fans checking out a band like Wicked and being into it.
Yeah, you gotta when you see one of those shows like that we're opening with a band, you really get a taste for some of our, really we curate the set in a certain way, and that tour that we did earlier this year with Vicious Rumors, there was some really cool like
Yeah, we did some
flow
unreleased
and heavy
too.
stuff. Yeah,
We pull out some stops sometimes where we'll play songs that won't be released for like 5 years probably because
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
plan to release them, but we just have them ready, like a heavy ass song like Destroyer.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
We just played the song that we only played in Mexico one time
yeah.
because we
Wow.
knew there are all metalheads out there that we wrote just for that show, and
It's fun.
And let me ask
People
you
love
guys,
that.
when you were doing the shows with Raven, how accepting were their fans of what you guys do?
Oh, they were great. I mean, it was almost like
It was
you
like a
never
tit for
would
tat with them, right? Like
you would
trying to
never
like
you would
who's
never
gonna
think of it, but it really worked out great. And even in like some of the areas like San Francisco and stuff where like they were a little bit more like, we only like thrash.
you just gotta win them over.
Yeah, you just win them over,
If you're-
just doing what you
They
do.
know a good band's a good band, and if you go up there and you give it all you got, even if they're not into like more like hard rock and they only like heavy metal, they're gonna see what it is
Yeah.
and feel the energy. And we never let people walk out of a show without.
I will say,
That
and
band-
in talking to you guys, that what I loved about this first album, especially if somebody just kind of discovering the band, this is a great place to start because I'll tell you, it's like great albums were made back in the day, 70s and 80s, where you didn't just have one or two great songs, but the whole album kicked ass.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, a great introduction. And I think that album is a great place for people to start because if you don't know what this band Wicked is, or you've just seen one video or something, you haven't really got the whole taste. And this really kind of proves what you guys can do song wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Dig into those albums, those songs. I mean, we love to just try to rapid fire put stuff out. So, if you want to join the family and keep up with the journey, jump on this train, man, because it's rolling.
And so, as far as Go Rebel comes out August 21st, like, how long did it take you guys to record all the songs that wound up on the album?
I think
it was like,
full time in the studio, maybe like uh not more than 3 months, right? I mean,
well, the whole
we
thing
had
like
the whole pre-production done
it was
maybe a couple weekends, right?
a couple of weeks of pre-production, and then we were only in the studio for maybe like less than a month, I would
Yeah.
say, and then the rest is like polishing, and that's all Nacho's job.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe you guys just talked about that you're going to be playing Europe and Australia. Have you played over there before, or will this be your first time?
Yeah, this will be our first time going over to Europe, so we're super excited about that, and it's just the start for us because we'll come back and do a bunch of U.S. dates to support the Go Rebel album afterwards, and then we're headed right back out, in the big old jet plane to Japan in June. So we're really trying to make a world tour out of this thing for sure.
Yeah, I understand the Europeans, they really love their hard rock bands over there. So I hope it goes well for you guys. That's going to be fun. Any sightseeing you think you have a chance to do? Like, you think you get a chance to see anything like the Eiffel Tower when you guys are over there?
Yeah, we always like to get around and kind of with a little bit of time you have experience the culture and the areas and the food. The cuisine is great
The
too.
hot spot we definitely want to go to is Stonehenge, right?
Oh, Stonehenge, yeah, we got to do that for sure. And we want to
Phil
see
Lynott.
the Phil Lynott statue.
Yep.
Yeah, we have to. We're gonna be right in Dublin, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Stonehenge, I kind of think of, Black Sabbath's version of Stonehenge. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Oh yeah, that is so cool.
Or even the one they did in the Spinal Tap movie.
the little
Spinal
one,
Tap.
yeah.
Yeah.
The dimensions and inches.
Yeah. And so when you guys are coming up with the set list, how hard is it to create the set list now with two great albums?
It's always a
Yeah,
challenge.
that's
right?
like our biggest fights is like figuring out what songs go where.
Yeah. It's fun though because when you have your time limit and everything, we really get forced to kind of curate something that's special for those moments,
Yeah.
and there'll always be extra little transitions and surprises in the set. So that's the fun part of putting together the live set for
Like
sure.
doing like a festival where it's like 30 minutes. You
Yeah.
gotta figure out
Yeah.
how do you make 30 minutes work and it's not just playing like
Yeah, right.
songs but also a show.
Yeah. I mean, and as far as coming up with the set list, do you guys stay pretty strict to like, okay, we're just playing these songs, or do you mix it up a little from
No,
night to
we don't
night?
stick.
Yeah, poor Chad's gotta he's gotta be able to just go off the cuff and sing any of the billions of songs that we have. We always like to mix it up. So
Danny loves to do the thing where he's like,
Last
"You
minute.
remember that one song?" And I'm like, "No."
It'll be like
He's like, "Well, we're gonna play that one." I'm like,
so
"Okay, cool. Thanks for the heads
2 days,
up."
2
See if
days
I can
before
follow
the
you.
show.
Yeah.
and I think Scott mentioned earlier, we really love to like throw in some unreleased stuff every now and then because the fans get. It was one of my favorite parts of going to see bands when they would, tease a song that's unreleased, and then you're just thinking about it for like months until it comes out. So we
Or
love
that
to
it
do
doesn't
that.
come out.
And
Yeah.
I would imagine too, that's a great way to test material, like as far as when you play it live for the first time, see how the fans react. And okay, I think
It
we have a hit.
certainly is. Yeah.
That's gotta be fun. Wow, it was great talking to you guys. Anything else you want to let the fans know about before we wrap this up?
Where can they check us out, Chad?
wickedrockandrollofficial.com, and all the socials are at Wicked Rock and Roll. That's YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, join our mailing list. You could hit it on our website or on our link tree on our Instagram. So be sure to get in touch with us. You'll get sneak peeks and extra special goodies all the time. So we just want to say that we're super excited to see you guys out at a live show. That's where the magic happens.
Yep.
And definitely, hopefully, you'll come to California where I live, and I'll get a chance to see you guys. Now, before I do let you guys go, one final question: as far as the new album coming out on August 21st, can they get it like exclusively through your website? It's going to be available on all the platforms.
Absolutely. You'll want to check out our merch. We'll have some pre-sales on our website coming out soon. Again, a link in our, Facebook and Instagram bios. And, we've got a lot of cool additions,
Cool moment to plug that we're gonna have. As usual, we're big vinyl heads, so we
Yeah.
are back at the gatefold. We got a double disc colored gatefold vinyl. It's got the sleeve arts with all the
Wow.
lyrics on it. There, you could spend probably like 2 hours just looking at everything on it. So it's gonna be a really good package. Then obviously we'll have a CD, and then we'll even have a couple of like a simpler version of the vinyl if you just want the vinyl at
Okay.
a relatively lower price. But
I dig
you
that
know,
collector's item type of stuff. What would be fun too. I think if you guys ever thought about like a Wicked comic book.
we thought
Dude,
about it.
absolutely.
Yeah, actually.
One of these days, we'll give you credit, but we're definitely going to be doing that.
Oh, that'll be fun. And final thing I got to ask because you guys are such great songwriters. You ever toyed with the idea of like, hey, let's record a cover, or let's throw a cover in the live set? Because again, you're such great songwriters, you don't really need to do that. But is that something you ever enjoy doing?
It's pretty rare for us, but
If you do go to the live show, there may be a limited amount of what we just put out called "For Those Who Are Obsessed," and there may not be a cover on that.
Yeah,
that we will not be putting on streaming. So if you want to pick that up and check it out, there's some unreleased tracks on there and some covers.
we only released or we only made 100 of them, and I don't know how many have sold, so they're going fast.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely be picking up the new album, and I'll have you guys come back on the show once I've had a chance to hear the album in its entirety. It's always a great chatting with you guys. Always a great experience. We made some serious noise here with Wicked today, and we want to thank them for coming on and telling their story. So take care, guys, and keep on rocking, and we'll catch up with you down the line.
see you, brother.
See ya. Bye bye.